Okay, welcome to Taking the Biz. This is a YouTube channel dedicated to A-level business students and providing them with tutorials to help them out with their revision. In this topic, we are going to have a look at an absolute godfather. He is known as Ansoff Matrix, and this is a superb tool or model for helping businesses to decide their strategic positioning or to formulate their strategic plans. So strategic planning is all about how your business is going to compete, how it's going to try and attract customers and outcompete rivals and succeed in the marketplace. And this bad boy is an absolute rascal when it comes to assisting businesses in the strategic planning process. As you'll see, it's laid out in the form of a four-sided grid matrix. Whenever we have these business topics that are presented like this, it's important to understand what they're showing us by examining the axes. So let's get rolling. Ansoff was a Russian immigrant into America working in the 1950s, investigating lots of business organizations and trying to work out which ones had the most successful strategies. And through all of the studies that he did, he worked out that there was 4 different strategies that were really making firms effective in the marketplace. 4 kind of strategic plans that firms were utilizing in order to outcompete rivals. And what he noticed was that what separated these 4 different strategies or these 4 different positions was, first of all, whether the business was offering consumers new products in order to be competitive, or whether they were continuing to try and push their existing products but trying to go further with them, trying to attract more customers for them. So the first thing that we can see on Ansoff's Matrix is that these 4 different strategic positions that firms can adopt vary according to whether you want to try and bring out new products to be successful and target consumers with, or you want to continue to push your existing product range and just be more successful by selling more of your existing range of products. But if we have a look on the other axes here, the other thing that separates these 4 different strategies that Ansoff developed for firms was the markets that the businesses were targeting. So some firms might try to continue to target their existing markets, the same market segments or groups of customers that have always been buying their products. But other firms might seek success by trying to find new markets to buy those products. That could be new geographical markets, or it could be new market segments that they were getting to try and purchase their goods. And so those 2 different distinctions there between existing and new products and existing and new markets gave rise to 4 different strategies that Ansoff said firms could adopt in order to be successful. So let's talk you through them one at a time, starting with the one that Ansoff said involved the least risk. It's a strategy known as penetration or market penetration. And as you can see from our axes here, that strategy involves trying to continue to sell your existing range of products to your existing markets. So staying in the same geographic markets as you're competing in right now, or targeting the same market segments that you have targeted historically and trying to target them with your existing product range. So you're not bringing out anything new for them. Now that's why it is the least risky of Ansoff strategies, because you're not targeting any new customers, so you don't need to invest lots in market research to find out the needs of new groups of people that you've not targeted before. So that strips some of the risk out of this strategy. But also, you're not developing any new products either, so you don't have to invest in the new product development and the research and development needed to develop new product lines. So again, it strips some of the risk out of this strategy. That said, potentially it's the least rewarding as well. It's got the least potential for growth because you're not finding any new customers for your products and you're not bringing out anything new for consumers to buy. You're literally either trying to sustain your existing position to maintain your existing market share, or if you are using this to try and grow your organization, you've got to try and find ways of getting your existing market to just purchase more or purchase more frequently the existing products that you are selling. That can be a tricky thing to do. It certainly involves the least risk, but it can be difficult to accomplish. I'll give you perhaps an example of a couple of firms that have done that. There's a very successful cereal manufacturer that every year runs a promotion encouraging consumers not to eat their cereal once a day, but instead to substitute one of their other meals for a second bowl of cereal, and it will assist consumers with their weight loss. They're meant to be able to drop a dress size doing this 2-week cereal challenge. Now look, they're not targeting anybody new with that promotion, and they're certainly not launching new cereals to make it work. But for that 2-week period, consumers will be buying twice as much of the cereal because they're eating it twice a day in order to fit in with this promotion and try and lose weight. So they've penetrated their market there. They've sold more of that product to their existing consumers, and for a short period at least, they have achieved growth. There's also a very, very famous fast food restaurant that tries to do this, again through their promotions. So when they run promotions, perhaps involving famous Monopoly board games, they are not bringing out any new products for consumers to buy, and they're not really targeting any new types of consumers. But for that month that the Monopoly competition is running, those consumers will buy more of that product, or they will visit that restaurant more frequently than they would ordinarily. And that firm is then able to penetrate the market, increase their sales by selling more of their existing product range to their existing target customers. And it's the least risky of the strategies. The only downside of it is it's difficult to do, and it doesn't have as much longevity. So those examples that we just quoted there were both examples that might last for a fortnight or last for a month, and then the firm has to think of new ways of penetrating that market. So a different strategy might be to go with what's called a product development or a new product development strategy instead. So with this strategy, we're still targeting the existing market. So the firm isn't changing the geographic markets that it's targeting or the market segments that it is trying to aim its products at. But what it is doing is bringing out new product offerings targeted at that same group of customers that the firm has targeted historically. Now, a great example of firms that use this would be electronics firms. Phones are constantly being updated, so they'll bring out the latest model, the latest version of that phone. It's targeted at the same groups of customers that probably bought earlier versions of their phone, but this new updated model might encourage consumers to replace their old version, buy this latest one, and then the firm has increased its sales and it has grown its sales, its revenue, its profits potentially by bringing out new product offerings but targeting the same group of people. Now, this is a more moderately risky strategy because although we will know our customers, we're not targeting anybody new. So we know those market segments. We've researched them in the past. We know their consumer behaviors. We know the needs and the wants of this market. So in terms of market research, we might strip some of the risk and the expense out of this strategy. We are going to have product development and research and development costs associated with this strategy. And you've got no way of knowing that new products that you're bringing out are going to appeal to these customers. Even though you know them well, there's always that element of risk involved in bringing out something new for them. So as a games console manufacturer brings out the latest game console, they are fairly confident that they know that consumer, but they've had to undergo the expense and the cost of researching and developing new innovations and new technologies and new specifications for this new product. And there's a risk that when consumers experience those new product offerings, they may not appeal to them as much as the firm thought. So it's more of a moderately risky strategy. If we go down to the bottom here, what the firm could do is continue to launch or continue to sell its existing product range. So it doesn't have the research and development costs of inventing new innovations and adding new specifications to its products. So it keeps its product offerings exactly the same, doesn't add to its product portfolio. But what it does do is to try and seek out new markets, new customers that might want to buy this product portfolio. Now, that could be new geographic markets. So they could find new countries that they haven't launched their product range in before. They could target their existing product range to maybe they've never targeted Spain before. So they take their product range and they start selling it to Spanish consumers. Now there's an element of risk attached to that, because you're going to have to invest in market research to find out the needs of these Spanish customers and check that they would be willing to buy your existing product range. And you're going to have to research how they want to be promoted to, and where they might purchase these goods from. So there's that risk attached with having to do market research to learn about the needs of this new group of customers. But this could also be not just targeting new geographic markets, but targeting new market segments with your products as well. So sometimes firms realize that they can take their existing product portfolio and they might be able to find different market segments that might actually enjoy and purchase this product. Now, a lovely example of this would be something like Lucozade, which just keeps evolving in terms of the markets of customers that might buy it. So traditionally, this was launched as a medicinal product that consumers might purchase if they had colds or ailments or flu, and it was meant to rejuvenate them. It's meant to have medicinal qualities. But from that, Lucozade realised that they could also add other market segments that might appeal to it. So rather than people just going to a chemist to purchase it, if they could change their distribution strategy and then start advertising it and marketing it as a sports supplement, as an energy drink, something that athletes might consume, then they found a new market that might purchase this product, and so the sales of it will grow. Now look, there is an element of risk to that because you've got to learn about the needs of these new markets, but the risk of having to develop new products for them is eliminated because you're selling your existing product range. So market development, again, another strategy that Ansoff developed. The strategy developed that has the most risk attached to it is known as diversification. The risk comes because of what this strategy entails. In terms of products, we're going to develop new product offerings. So that's going to involve research and development, and we know that that's expensive. And with expense comes risk. But the risk is heightened because as we're developing those new products, we're also going to target them at new markets, either new geographic markets or new market segments. Either way, that's going to involve not just the research and development of developing these new product lines, but the market research costs of learning about these new geographic or market segments. So this is the most risky of the strategies, but think about it for 1 second. It's also potentially the most lucrative. Think about the potential that this strategy has got to stimulate growth for an organization. We're bringing out brand new product lines, so we're adding to the firm's portfolio. So there's growth potential straight away, but we're actually bringing this business into new markets, targeting new consumers, untapped audiences. So the potential for growth is much larger than it is with Ansoff's other strategies. Crucially, neither of these strategies are better than the other. The firm has got to find the one that fits in with their vision. So if they're just trying to maintain their current position, maybe trying to hold on to their market share, maybe in response to economic climates, firms might choose penetration. Firms that have objectives to do with growth and expansion, diversification might fit in very well with that strategy. Firms that are trying to balance risk and rewards a little bit more might go for market development or product development as their strategies. But these are 4 great strategies firms can use in order to try and be successful. We're going to go throw links in the comments section below to other strategy videos that we've got. We've put links to them in the top hand corner for you as well. Hopefully that one will help you out when it comes to Ansoff's Matrix. In the meantime, good luck with your revision. Hope it's all going well. Keep on taking the biz.